views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was as nervous as she could be. She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was afraid that somebody would say,
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
it was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny.
This is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Welcome you to our show. Today's guest is Brian Hyland, and he's going to be talking about his career. He is a beautiful songwriter, singer, and everything else. So we're going to head right into talking to Brian. And hello, Brian. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Patty.
So I got questions for you, my friend.
All right, I'm ready.
Are you ready? Okay. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in New York City in Queens.
And did you go to school? Where did you go to school?
Well, I went to grammar school there. It was called St. Thomas the Apostle. And then went to high school in Brooklyn. I went to Franklin K. Lane High School, which was actually, I could walk to both of those schools from my house.
Oh my goodness. You didn't have to take any buses or anything, eh?
No, because I lived right on the border of Brooklyn and Queens, basically.
Oh, wow. Did you go to university or college or anything like that, or?
No, just the rock and roll on the road school.
Hard knocks.
Yeah, right.
While growing up, who had influenced you the most?
I guess my family, and as far as my older brothers, and and then when rock and roll started, I was totally an Elvis fan, and also the Everly Brothers, Buddy Holly, Frankie Lyman, Jackie Wilson, all that stuff in New York. There was a lot of doo-wop activity there too.
You're speaking my language.
All right.
All right, far out. How old were you when you went into music? Were you a young lad or in between?
Well, when I got into it seriously, I was about 15, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I was in this doo-wop group, and so I guess around 15. Yeah, that's about right.
So, did you start out as a singer or a musician or what?
No, actually, I originally just wanted to be a guitar player.
Oh, yeah.
I had a guitar, and I was learning all the songs, and all the songs that were out there, and as best I could. And but then with the doo-wop group, it kind of just fell into my lap. There was one song that I sang the lead on the demo that we did, and we took that demo to record companies in New York, and we just, on the luck, and we thought, well, maybe we did a demo. We thought maybe we can go a step further and maybe actually get a contract and as a group. So we went around, and most people just, they didn't listen, wouldn't even let us in the door.
Yeah.
And so, but eventually somebody we met in an elevator, and they said, go up to Sammy K's office. They're looking for singers. So that's what we did, and so at that point, we went up there, played the demo for them, and they said, we're not looking for groups, but we do like the way that you sing, Brian. So then at that moment, in that instant, I became a solo artist.
Oh my goodness.
And the guys were okay with that in the group, so there was no problem.
Oh, I'm glad for that one. Wow. That would have been really awful. Okay. How many instruments, musical instruments do you play? Just guitar?
I just bought a bass recently, so I'm learning how to play the bass a bit. But mainly it's the guitar and a bit of keyboards, and then I can do percussion things, like I've done that on sessions of my own, like maracas, and mostly maracas and tambourines.
Do you self-teach yourself?
Yes, yes, I did. You know what? Here's the thing, though, Patty. On the road, I always, in the early days, on the tours with Dick Clark, I'd always have my guitar on the bus. And so I learned a lot of songs just from watching other people playing songs, and they would show me chords. And so that was basic. I had some good instructors, I guess.
So, do you write or compose or?
Yes, I write songs. I've been writing songs since about the mid-'60s.
Oh.
At a certain point, you know, it was like you had to compete with all the people that were writing songs. And I started off, you know, very kind of proto songs. And but eventually, I wrote some tunes with Del Shannon, and Del was a great songwriter, and so that was a real learning experience for me.
Let me see. How many labels did you sign with over the years in record companies?
Let's see. Well, I was on Cap Records, ABC Paramount, Philips Records. Then I was on Dot Records.
Oh.
I'm sorry. After that, I was on Uni Records also. Oh, after Dot, I was on Uni Records, which is Universal MCA Records. And then later, there was a gap there, and then I did some work down in New Orleans with Alan Toussaint. And that record was released on Private Stock Records. And since then, I've been putting stuff out myself on CD Baby, and it's up on YouTube, and a lot of the songs, and original stuff, and a couple of Christmas albums.
Christmas? Oh, you got me. In the summer of 1960, you came out with a very wonderful, interesting song. It was called Itsy Bitsy Teenie Weenie Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
Right.
That took a lot to say. Was it controversial during that day?
Well, the record company, you know, they got some letters from people, you know, and I kid around on stage. I said that some people said it was, you know, like only slightly better than 100 bottles of beer on the wall.
Well, I like that too.
But, you know, and plus there was other, you know, I guess some people were concerned about the bikini and, and that. And so then actually, I think the record company's executives called the songwriter and they asked him, what was the deal? And he said that he was at the beach. This was Paul Vance, one of the writers, and he was at the beach and he saw his little niece the first time at the beach in a bathing suit, and she was very shy. And he thought, oh, that's a good idea. So that's exactly where it came from. So when he told that to the record company, they said, oh, yeah, forget about it.
I forget. Yeah, that's cool. When did you release Sealed with a Kiss and Gypsy Woman?
Well, Sealed with a Kiss came out in 1962 in the summer. And I guess I'd have to look back and see exactly the date on that, but it was out all during the summer and probably a little bit before the summer.
We gotta say goodbye for the summer. Darling, I promise you this, I'll send you all my love every day in a letter. Sealed with a kiss, 'cause it's gotta be cold, only summer. But I'll fill the emptiness, send you all my dreams every day in a letter.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And Gypsy Woman came out at the end of the summer, and it got, I think they released it twice.
Oh,
But the first time it got some activity, and then they said, oh, let's, we'll just send it out again. And then the second time, that it took off. And I was lucky they did that too. And so then that was at the highest point was like in, I guess, November and December of 1970.
Both of them are our favorites. My twin sister up in Canada says hello and thank you for those wonderful songs. We've been fans of yours for a long time, kiddo.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
What are your favorite songs of all of the ones that you've done over the years?
Well, I have a couple. I think Gypsy Woman is probably right up there. But there's a song I did. It was when I was on ABC Paramount Records, and it was a song written by actually the same guys that wrote Civil the Kiss, Gary Geld and Peter Udell.
Yeah.
And this song was called "I'm Afraid to Go Home."
I'm afraid.
And it was about the Civil War. It's about a rebel soldier going home. It's kind of, have you read that book Cold Mountain?
Yeah.
That it was a movie too. It's kind of like that story. I mean, I saw that movie; it was great. But that's what it's about. He's going home and he's reminiscing or he's ruminating to himself, like, "What's going to be there when I get home?" And so that was the basic lyric structure of the song.
It's a song about the Civil War. It's about a boy going home after the Civil War. It's about all the things going on inside his head. I'm afraid to go home. I'm afraid to go home. Worries on my mind. Afraid of what I'll find. Will my family be gone? I'm afraid to go home, back to Tennessee. Afraid of what I'll see. As I walk down this dusty road, got a heart with a heavy load. Ain't a thing that's the same. So much sorrow and pain. Heading home in a single file. Every inch is a quarter mile. Ain't heard nobody sing. Ain't seen one little thing. Someone's waiting for me. Honey, sweet as can be. Wanna hold her tight. Lord, make her be alright. Maybe round the next bend, all the ashes will end. Valleys will be green instead of what I've seen. I'm afraid for the scrubby pines, all the sweet honeysuckle vines. I'm afraid for my home, for the fields that I roam. Kick along down a homeward road, and your heart's gotta take a load. I'm afraid to go home. I'm afraid to go home. Sherman's been in my town, burned it all to the ground. Now there's not a tree between Memphis and the sea. Now there's not a tree between Memphis and the sea.
And out of all the songs, I know you collaborated with a lot of people. Who, for instance, have you collaborated and sung with, and etc.?
With writing songs,
Yeah.
pretty much. Well, I wrote some. Excuse me. I wrote some songs with Bobby V, and they never saw the light of day. That was a great experience, though, because he was a great guy. Bobby was one of my best friends, and also with Dell, songs I wrote with Dell, and also my wife Rosemary, who passed away though.
I'm sorry.
In 2018.
I'm sorry.
And I wrote a lot of songs with her also.
Our condolences.
And my son Bodie.
Bodie, how old is he now?
Bodie's about 39.
Oh, my stars.
He's 39 now, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm about 29 years older than him. Cough, cough. So you made appearances on radio, TV, the whole gambit?
Oh, well, in England, over in the UK, when I went over there in 1963, they had a couple of radio shows that were really cool. And one was called Saturday Club, and I forget the name of the other one. And they did it actually in a theater in London, and you'd go there in the early morning, and they had a band, and so you do your songs live with this band they had, which were really good, like studio musicians, basically. Mm-hmm. And so you do that, and then they tape it. They tape all your, if you did 2 or 3 songs, they taped them right then before anybody came in.
Yeah.
Then the audience would come in, and you'd lip sync or finger sync if you were playing guitar too. I was just singing at that time, and and you'd perform for and so they'd have the audience there, and you'd do that, and it was great, and it was a great kind of concept, I thought.
Well, what if you did a mistake? You forgot to say a word and it came out kind of funny.
I did a record hop one time around Philadelphia, where there used to be a lot of record hops back in the early '60s.
Yeah.
So I walked out. They said Brian Hyland. So I walked out on the stage, and they started playing "Calendar Girl."
Oh.
The Dackets record.
Oh my stars.
That was really embarrassing.
I
And,
bet it
they
was.
caught it right away, and then they put my record on. But that kind of stuff used to happen all the time.
Aw. Well, you've been a singer for how long, kiddo? How old are you? See, about 30, 40, 50?
Since, about 19, as a professional singer, making records since 1960, so that's 60 years.
Hot dang. You must have been a wee one. Just kidding.
Yes, I was.
And where have you gone touring besides England? Did you go to Japan or any other place? Or?
Yeah, I played over in Japan. That was a long time ago, back in 1961.
Wow.
And, I haven't been back. I've just been, through there at the airport, but I haven't played there. But a lot of the gigs that we do in Southeast Asia, we played in Malaysia and Thailand, and we played in Hong Kong and also in Jakarta in Indonesia. We played there. I was just there in last December with Peggy March, 2 of us.
Peggy.
Played 2 shows in Bangkok.
I interviewed Peggy a couple of times.
Yeah, she's great. I like hanging out with her. We've done cruises together too, and she's really fun, and she's a great person, and she's a great singer.
She's a sweet lassie too.
Yes, she is.
Do you still tour if once this pandemic is over?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get back out doing gigs, because there are a lot of gigs. I had a lot of things in the fall here that in the spring that were canceled, and so in the summer, actually the other day another gig got canceled. I was going to play up in Monterey, in California, in August, and I was thinking, I hope this goes. I hope it happens. And sure enough, a couple of days ago, they said we're going to postpone it until next year. So everything is kind of, I guess for everybody, is kind of pushed into next year.
We're on lockdown, I take it, eh? Lockdown.
Yeah, lockdown.
Yeah. The British invasion. What happened?
Well, I wasn't one of the forgotten victims of Beatlemania. But there were a lot of people that didn't survive at that time that were, that was like so different from all the stuff that had been hits on the charts, just, the year before even, before 64. But in a way, I saw it coming because I was over there in the UK with Little Eva in '63 in the winter. I'm sorry, yeah, it was like February of '63, and we were there. And I heard the Beatles' second record, Please Me. They were playing it on the radio, and I knew that whole thing was going to take off, and it was only a matter of time. When you heard that record, it was like so different. And plus they played the instruments and they wrote the song and they sang it, so it was like, triple threat right there.
Yeah.
And so I was really a Beatles fan. I loved it. I just loved the whole sound of that. And so then I was later that year. I started a tour with Bobby V in the fall, and this is in '63. And the first night I was in the dressing room, and they had a shower room in the dressing room, and I was in there playing my guitar, and Bobby V came in, and he said, "Hey, have you heard the Beatles?" And so, I said, "Oh yeah," and so I was playing "Please, Please Me." He said, "Oh, it's a really cool song." So Bobby was also a big Beatles fan at that time also.
Well, Polly was my favorite.
Anybody that with 2 years could tell that the Beatles were going to be real big.
They were really, really, they just swarmed us, in Canada too, so. That's where I'm from, Toronto.
I know, it was, very good for the music business. That was the greatest thing that could have happened.
They changed everything, really. Did you change your venue, your genre several times throughout your career?
Well, working with different producers, I know what you mean, Patty. When I first started, I did after Polka and Bikini, I added some novelty songs, and that was the thing, and then like a year later, I was working with another producer, and it was Gary Gill and Pete Udell, and who gave me the song "Let Me Belong to You," which was on it. We made a record of that and brought it to. It was an independent production. They brought it to ABC Paramount, and that's how I got that deal. Yeah. Then, excuse me. So that was a whole different bag. It was like a real ballad and very kind of adult lyrics and sophisticated chord structure and everything. And then, the other stuff I did with them, Ginny Come Lately and Seal with a Kiss, both of those, that was a different kind of thing also.
Yeah, you were maturing as you were getting older in your songs as well as yourself, eh?
Yeah, it was perfect, really. And then when after a while, then I worked with Stuff Garrett and Leon Russell, and they came into New York. They flew in, and we did a session when I was on Phillips. We did a session there, and the song that we recorded was called 3 Miles, and it kind of made the bottom of the charts. But then they liked working with me, so then the record company said, "Do another session." But they wanted to do it in California, so that was when I recorded the song "The Joker Went Wild," and that was the first song that we did out in California.
I like that one.
Thank you. And that was a lot of fun too, because it was the Wrecking Crew on the session basically, and they were great. All those guys,
I've heard of them.
Glenn Campbell, Al Blaine, Earl Palmer. They had 2 drummers on that session, and Leon played keyboards, and Ray Pullman played bass, and they had backup singers, and it was just great.
How many CDs or LPs have you made? Are you working on a new one?
Well, not very many. I didn't make like an LP every couple of months, like some people did that. But so most of the LPs that I did, they were singles, kind of a collection of singles and stuff like that. So I did a couple actually with Dot Records. I take that back. that were, the producer there was Ray Ruff, and he liked to do, oldies, and we did Johnny Tillison's song, Dreamy Eyes, and the song Tragedy. We did that one also, which actually, as a single, that came out and made about halfway up the charts.
Wow.
And, but probably made about 12 albums, I guess, or something around there.
That's cool. Are you working on a new one? New CD or whatever?
Well, I'm working on, you know what I think, Patty? I think right now the industry is like focused on a single song, and people, they'll gravitate to a certain song and they'll stream it, and so putting out an album, you're really demanding a lot of somebody to listen to a whole album, so I don't think people are into that anymore.
No
and
EPs?
Particularly the singles. Just like when I started, really, because that was the whole,
Yeah.
that was the coin of the realm, as they say, right?
So
A single. But today, there's no B-side. It's just like one song.
Oh my stars. Anyways, did you win awards for any of your singing?
Well, I got gold record for,
Yay.
RIAA certified gold record for Gypsy Woman.
Cool.
And for Polka Bikini and for Seal With a Kiss. They did, I don't know, they weren't, the record company wasn't giving out gold records, but they have sold well over multiple millions.
Wow.
And at the time, even, I know Polka Bikini did.
Oh wow, that's cool. So how can my audience get in touch with you? Do you have a website or something?
Well, I have brianhyland.com. That's the main one. But I'm on Facebook. People can check me out, and we always put up new where we're going to be, and we have been putting up new songs for the doctors and for the nurses and all the medical professionals.
Oh wow.
We've been putting out songs that I just did in my house since the pandemic started. Because we're not doing gigs, so I got my son helped me, and so we just did it with the cell phone, and and we that was the we did a couple of cool tunes.
Finally, what would you like to share with my audience?
Oh, I'd like to say that you're a great interviewer, and I like to just wish everybody good health and to wear masks when you go to stores or going out in places where there's a lot of people, and everybody should love one another, take care of each other.
Thank you. Brian, you did good yourself. You're excellent. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my